So with this problem, we're given two graphs. We're asked to determine with each one whether each graph is the graph of a function, and if so, whether it is one-to-one. So essentially, we're just going visually and now to determine if it's a function or if it's one-to-one. And how we do that, if you'll remember, is for a function, the vertical line test, and for if it's a function, if it's one-to-one, the horizontal line test. So first off, let's look at part A. Is it a function? Well, if you'll notice, it does not pass the vertical line test. We can draw vertical lines pretty much everywhere on this curve, and it's going to pass through more than one point on the curve. That means it doesn't pass the vertical line test, which means that it is not a function. So A is not a function. And again, that's because it does not pass the vertical line test. For multiple inputs or multiple individual inputs, there are two outputs. So it's not a function. Part B, it will pass the vertical line test. Doesn't matter where we draw a vertical line on this graph, it's only going to pass through the curve at one point. And therefore, with part B, it is a function. And again, that's because it passes the vertical line test. Now, is it one-to-one? Yeah, it never quite gets perfectly horizontal. Now, it looks like maybe it's getting closer to horizontal here, but it's just approaching the x-axis. It's going to keep on going infinitely closer and closer and closer to the x-axis if it doesn't cross it. But it's not a straight line. We can put a horizontal line here wherever we want on the curve. And again, it's only going to pass through that curve at one point for each horizontal line, and therefore it is one-to-one. So again, if we're given a graph, or if we make a graph, how we test if it's a function, it will pass the vertical line test, which means that for any vertical line, it's only going to pass through the curve at one point, which verifies that for each x value, there's only one y value. And then in the case of if it is a function, if it does pass the vertical line test, we determine if it's one-to-one by doing the same thing in the horizontal direction. For each y value, there will be only one x value.